Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all sins and misdeeds, bringing spiritual welfare to life. Spiritual beauty, prosperity, and grace flow through those who listen to your holy message. Truly generous are those who preach and share the nectar of your message with suffering humanity. Om, peace, peace, peace. So today, before I start reading, I just would like to mention one interesting part. Today is a very special day. 25th February. Why? Tomorrow is 26 because 26 February 1882, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the Bengali name is Kathamrita. He started to write that one. So today is 25th, tomorrow is 26th February is the first he started writing Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So this is very heartwarming that we are reading Gospel today. And in India it already started 26th. So it's good. 1882. And actually visited last 4.5 years of Sri Ramakrishna's life. Because Sri Ramakrishna passed away August 1886. And he narrated from 1882 beginning, so about 4.5 years, and 186 days of writing. Why 186 days only? Because M had family, job, and with fulfilling all these things, on the special days or vacations, only he would get chance to come to Dakshineshwar or to meet another place in Calcutta when Sri Ramakrishna is visiting Calcutta, those places. So only 186 days. And it's not that he suddenly wrote that one. M had the habit of writing diaries. He always used to write diaries from the very beginning of his life. Sri Ramakrishna knew, the way he could see people who is good at what. So later, Shivananda Swami, Tarak, also, because direct disciples, they also heard so many things from Sri Ramakrishna. Naturally, they also noted them down and wanted to write a book or like that. But Sri Ramakrishna said, no, that's not your job. He knew that this is M's job. And when you read Gospel, you will find so many times Sri Ramakrishna is asking M, so what do you think about Naren? So do you remember what did I say about this the other day? So he is checking, he is revising, he is correcting, improvising. So it's M's writing, but Sri Ramakrishna is present very much. So the Bengali name, it is a live communication like that. And it's not only communication between Sri Ramakrishna and M, and also M and us. He didn't just say the biography or the description or the documentation kind of thing. We never feel like that we are reading a document. This date, he went there and he did. No, never. Sri Ramakrishna in a smiley face, like that. So whatever M used to say later part of his life, he said that when people used to visit him and ask for advice and all this, he used to say like that, when people come to me, I lived near an ocean and I don't give them, I have my own pitcher, small one, but I don't give water from my small pitcher. I offer them that water from that ocean by which I lived. So this is that ocean, you can get that vibration through that gospel. And also, it is very direct and recorded on the same day. After meeting Sri Ramakrishna, he would come back home and record it. And then later, when he is writing, there is not much discrepancy from the actual incident, no. And he also tried to present, as I said, the heart of Sri Ramakrishna. But it is also true, though M didn't want to express himself, he tried to keep himself hidden behind the curtain. But we have another book. What is that? The Great Master. That's written by Swami Sharadananda, the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And this is also M, who is the householder disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, both of them, they saw Sri Ramakrishna and wrote whatever they have heard, they learned, they presented. Now, I heard one very nice analogy like that. Suppose there are architects. So the architect met the owner of the house. The owner of the house told him, that architect, what he likes. He likes the porch here. He likes the balcony here, like this, garden this side, kitchen garden back, like this, whatever. And after talking to that person, architect, whatever he felt, he made the house. Now, when we came to the house, we never saw the owner, neither the architect. All we see is the house. So it's the reflection of the owner through the architect. So that is how Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and the Great Master, you can say, the architect of this and architect of that. Both are Sri Ramakrishna. And you can get the idea how the owner would be from looking at the house, that presentation. So here in this recorded conversation, he called it Kathamrita in Bengali, the nectar of message or the advice, all these things. When it was translated in English, it was translated as the Gospel of Sri. But the Gospel, when we talk about, Gospel has very special connotation. So that is why many people, they object, a little bit Puritan who are, they say, why do you call it is Gospel? It's not Gospel because it talks about as many faiths, so many paths. That universal inclusion. All paths are real. You can reach God by any path you take. That's the. But Gospel, typically, it is a biography of Christ and then message of Jesus. And also there, the idea is that Jesus is the only Savior. And there Jesus is saying that follow my way, kind of that message. But here, Sri Ramakrishna is not saying so. So that is why people, I understand their logic. That's true. That by nature, it is very different from typical gospel. Then we cannot call this one gospel. We can say the nectar of dialogue because Sri Ramakrishna is talking to us. But we have to also remember that when this gospel was written, Sri Ramakrishna left his body in 1886. The first chapter, M composed, and he read it to Holy Mother first in 1888. And that time, Holy Mother was living a garden house near Belur Math, Nilamban Mukherjee's garden house, where she did that Panchatapa, that austerity, the great austerity she did. She appreciated. In 1890, he read another chapter after 2 years. See, so slowly he is composing and going forward. And that time, Holy Mother blessed the book and he asked to seek the permission, blessings to publish it. So Mother gave blessings to publish the book. So he said, okay. And then he started to write that advice of Sri Ramakrishna and started to publish in Brahmavadin, one of the Mott publication magazine. Later now that Brahmavadin magazine we know as Vedanta Kesari. Vedanta Kesari is that, how do you call that, the lion of Vedanta. And then that time Swamiji appreciated it very much, that work, that, oh, you did a great job so that people can now know how was Sri Ramakrishna, what was his advice and all this. This was up to around, say, 1890, later. Remember, Swamiji didn't come to US by then. When he came, 1893. Still he was yet to come like that. It's so old it is. And then after that Brahmavadin, when he was publishing, he translated it in English. M himself translated and started to publish. And Nikhilananda, he published it in 1942. So after so many years, so I wanted to Google that how many Hindus were at that time in the United States. Why he selected the name gospel in the first place? Because of this thing. So it shows that it was like about, according to 1940 census, 2405 Asian Indian population, not even 2500. Why? Because 1920s and 1930s there was very strict immigration law, exclusion immigration law. And we have to remember that 1930s we had the Great Depression here and all this kind of trouble. So when 1942 he is publishing, he is publishing only for Americans. And that Americans, they are not very much accustomed with these terminologies and Hindu word, the religion, practice, philosophy, not that much. So he tried to select the word which people of that time would understand, and then they can go forward. And now then I asked again Google that how many Hindus are there now in the United States? They said that from that trajectory it looks like that, according as of 1925, 1% of US populations are Hindu. And that around 2,500 what I said, that one was Asian Indian, which means Hindus, Sikhs, Muslims, everybody like that. So how many Hindus? Only very like handful of maybe. And now it is so many people, around 3.5 million Hindus, only Hindus in the United States. So we can't really compare that 1942 publication, selection of wording, expression of the presentation, expression and all these, standing in 2026. So that will not be right for sure. So that is why we should remember that thing also. So anyway, so that Kathamrita, it was started in 26th of February 1882 and it ended 10th May 1887, and 11th July 1888 M first read the first chapter to Holy Mother, and 15th March around this time in 1890 one more chapter he read. 1897, first Gospel of in English by M, and 1842, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna as we see now. Like that. This is the background, because tomorrow is another anniversary begins for this great book, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So anyway, so now I will move forward with this book, page 184, that March 9, 1883. So here, so now because we know, many of us now know that all these almanac, Hindu festivals and all these things, so it is easy for me to compare with the Bengali and the English and all these things. I will not be lost in translation. So it says like that, about 9 o'clock, it is that Sri Ramakrishna is sitting in his room, and it is about 9 o'clock in the morning. The master was seated in his room with Rakhal, A.M., and a few other devotees. It was the day of the new moon. In Bengali version, he explained a little bit further about this new moon, because every lunar month is there. So it is the new moon of the month of Magha. This means that that month ends, Phalgun begins. New moon means month, new, it began, new month start, new moon starts, right? So this is just between, this new moon is just between Shivaratri and Sri Ramakrishna birthday, lunar birthday. So the time we are going through now, it is that day, like that. So 14th day towards the new moon is Shivaratri, then the new moon, and then the second day after that, Phalgun new moon, Shukla Ditya, the second day is the Sri Ramakrishna birthday. So we are standing and that. So it is that new moon day. So he explained it in Bengali, he said, but here he said only the new moon. Then he said like that, as usual, a new moon and the 8th day towards new moon or full moon is assigned to Divine Mother. Typically, in Almanac, the Hindu practice like that, full moons are dedicated to Vishnu, and new moons are dedicated to Mother Kali. And 8th day to new moon or full moon, you can have it Durga or Kali, anyway, the Divine Mother. Now, also it is important in India, especially I cannot talk about India, I can talk about Bengal. So now when the British people came, we had Sunday, weekly holiday. Before British came, how would you get the holidays? Weekly holiday, monthly holiday. What was that? It was that one, full moon, new moon, and the 8th day to full moon or new moon. So every month you will get 2 8th days. One is towards the new moon and another is towards the full moon. And one full moon, one new moon. So 4. You get it every Sunday, 4. You do it lunar calendar, you get 4. So you don't get more than 4 days vacation anyways. So solar or lunar, doesn't matter. So anyway, so he said that he's entered. So Sri Ramakrishna entered again and again in communion with the Divine Mother because it's a new moon day. He said to the devotees, God alone exists. All else is unreal. The Divine Mother has kept all deluded by her Maya. Look at men. Most of them are entangled with worldliness. They suffer so much. But still they have the same attachment to lust and gold. He wrote the woman and gold, but when you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali, though he said that word, woman and gold, you can feel the way he's saying in Bengali, not to objectify women. Objectification is the problem. He's saying this women and gold, he's condemning that attitude, that looking at in that way. Rather, look at them as what? Shakti, mother power. That is that attitude. So that is why he's saying that not the object woman or the object gold. No objectification. Gold, if you see, is the Mother Lakshmi. Okay. If you say women as Mother Kali, Mother Sharada, okay. But not object as object. So he's saying that not the object woman and gold. The camel eats thorny shrubs and blood gushes from its mouth. Still it will eat thorns. While suffering pain at the time of delivery, a woman says, I shall never go to my husband again. But afterwards she forgets. But this labor pain thing, he didn't say a woman. Actually in Bengali he said that women. He said that at the time of labor pain, women say that we are not going, but then they forget. Anyway, because it comes with the pleasure of having the baby. And our memory is selective. Memory always try to avoid that unpleasant part. And that is how memory is ever pleasant. When we look back, our childhood, this aunt was so good, used to make this food for me like this and all this. But mind doesn't like to hold on to the bad thing. That also shows that we are divine by nature. We don't want to hold on the negative things. So because if we were not divine, then we would cling on to the negative side. With the memory, we'll go for the positive side. That is the direction. So the truth is that no one seeks God. There are people who eat the prickly leaves of the pineapple and not the fruit. And then a devotee is asking, but this day it's very interesting. Here you see, that is why I selected this date. Very nice. It's between Shivaratri and Thakur Tithi Puja, that new moon. And he's talking to one householder devotee. He's talking to one, you will see how Rakhal is coming, his monastic disciple, and talking about like typical Sri Ramakrishna, like that, all his advice here, like that, standard, like that. So he said like that, sir, one devotee is asking, sir, why has God put us in the world? Then the master, the world is the field of action. Through action, one acquires knowledge. The Guru instructs the disciple to perform certain works and refrain from others. Again, he advises the people to perform action without desiring result. The impurity of the mind is destroyed through the performance of duty. It is like getting rid of disease by means of medicine under the instruction of a competent physician. It's a very, very important paragraph actually. The world is the field of action. The Bhagavad Gita is that field. You are standing there, and that is the Kurukshetra. Kuru, do something, action. So he is telling, Arjuna is saying that, no, I can't do anything. He said that, no, you have to work. And you can do work, but you can't do selfless work at the very beginning. And they say like that, that action, what the action do actually? Chittasya suddhaye karma. Karma cleans the chitta. So selfless action purifies mind. But suddenly if you come and ask me, do selfless action, it's very difficult. I won't be interested at all. But if you tell me that if you do this, like say, that they say, Sakama karma, do this ritual, repeat the name 108 times. And then you start liking repetition of God's name. And then your mind gets absorbed in that. And then what happens gradually? When surrounding things are bothering you, you think like that, oh, the mind again, it's selective. Where it finds joy, it will go there. So then that time if you say that, oh, if you come and do this, you will get that. Then you say that, no, I don't want that. Rather, I would do this. So automatically the mind goes forward from sakama karma to nishkama karma. So that is why he said that the field of action. Through action, one acquires knowledge because the mind gets pure. Because knowledge is always, as just all the scriptures say, it's within us anyways. All we have to do, clean it. As soon as we clean, we see it. That's all. It's easy. Not difficult. But the thing is that the Guru instructs the disciple to perform certain works. The perform certain work, this is that ritual, sakama karma. Do this, do that. And refrain from others. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't lie. Always be truthful. Like that kind of thing. Again, he advises people to perform action without desiring result. It's without it, a lot of people say like that. How come that we don't expect result? We want the result. That is why we are working. The idea is that, of course, you know all, that not to look for the result. Just do the action, result will automatically come. That then if you have the preference of result, then you get entangled. And if that your preference is not fulfilled, then we get upset. Oh, I wanted this, it didn't happen. Whatever it comes. And sometimes, like say, when you are cooking with whole heart, full attention like that. And when you are cooking bhog especially, you can't eat before offering it to Thakur, right? So then when it comes out as a prasad, then you also get surprised that, oh, really, like this? I didn't think it will be like that. So this surprise, sometimes we need surprise. So that is why if you have some expectation, it gets fulfilled, then it's one type of thing, monotonous. But sudden result, surprise, be happy. Like that. So that selfless action actually gets paid like that. So without expectation of the result. And then the impurity of the mind is destroyed through performance of duty. Actually, here in Bengali, he said that karma. The way, through the karma, your impurity goes away. Now, here Nikhilananda Swami translated karma, action, as duty. It can be both actually. You can say the karma, nishkam karma, impurity goes away. In Bhagavad Gita, duty means swadharma. He said that Krishna again and again said that you have to do your sadharma. Through your swadharma only, you can attain. That's how he motivated Arjuna to take action in the war, not to be idle. So that is why he translated it as duty, but not mere as action. Both you can have it. And Ma also used to say, her words are very sweet. He used to say that, Baba, কর্ম করতে করতে কর্মবন্ধন কেটে যায়. By doing karma, the ties of karma get shed. So that is how it happens. The more you do, and then you say that, I don't want it. that kind of thing, that bandhan, our karma is what? Our sanskara. Then we do and be done. That I don't want it anymore. And there comes the renunciation automatically. You don't have to do, we don't have to just fall for it. So that is why the Ramakrishna Mission sadhus, after joining also, they keep on working. So through this, that's mother's teaching. Mother said again and again that through work only you cut the bondage of samskara. So that's the way. So he said that, Thakur is continuing, that it is like getting rid of disease by means of medicine under the instruction of a competent physician. And that competent physician is the Bhavaroga Vaidya. We have the disease of worldliness, and the doctor is the Vaidyanath, Shiva, Ramakrishna, whatever you call, and then he is that physician. Why doesn't God free us from the world? Why? He will free us when the disease is cured. He will liberate us from the world when we are through with the enjoyment of women and gold. Once a man registers his name in the hospital, he cannot run away. The doctor will not let him go away unless his illness is completely cured. Especially this disease of worldliness is extremely contagious. So if you go out of this hospital with the disease of worldliness, not only you will suffer, you will keep on spreading to that one, other people, and that's your doctor is saying, no, you don't have to go out, stay here, come out of worldliness, and then you can go anytime. So he is trying. During these days, Sri Ramakrishna's heart overflowed with motherly love, and the love Jashoda felt for Krishna. So this is what is the way? Motherly love. It is now Sri Ramakrishna's way. He said that somebody asked Holy Mother once that Ma, for all other incarnation when they came, their divine consort left the world before them. Like for example, Sita left the world before Ramachandra. So in case of you, why Thakur left first and you stayed back? Then mother said very sweetly that, my child, you know, Thakur had that motherly attitude towards everyone. He left me behind to manifest it to the world, to show it to the world I am here. So Nivedita said, no, that Holy Mother is the statement of Sri Ramakrishna. So what he wanted to teach, Holy Mother manifested. It's so nicely. So he said that motherly love in Sri Ramakrishna's heart overflowed. So then he said, so he kept Rakhal with him. Rakhal, he is also like Vrindavan Rakhal. So he had that kind of bhakti. So Rakhal felt toward the master as a child feels towards the mother. It's reciprocal. He would sit leaning on the master's lap as a young child leans on its mother while sucking the breast. Rakhal was thus seated by the master when a man entered the room and said that a high tide was coming in the Ganges. The master and the devotees ran to the Panchavati to see it. At the sight of the boat being tossed by the tide, Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed, look, I hope nothing happens to it. So it can be said in that way. Also in Bengali he said that দেখো ওই নৌকাখানার অবস্থা বিকে, look what happens to that boat. But the mood, you can have to say, the idea, you can say that I hope he cannot expect that anything bad will happen to that boat. So that is why Maharaj translated in that way, I hope nothing happens to it. So anyway, so after seeing all these things, they all sat on the road in the Panchavati. The master asked him to explain the cause of the tide. Aim drew on the ground the figure of the sun and then moon and earth and then tried to explain gravitation, ebb tide, flood tide, new moon, full moon, eclipse and so forth. It's so many things, one after other. And then master is telling to him, stop it, I can't follow you. It makes me dizzy, my head is aching. Well, how can they know of things so far off? So that's true. He said that, no, not much. So then he said that, you see, during my childhood, I could paint well, but arithmetic make my head spin. I couldn't learn simple arithmetic. Here I can explain a little bit from Bengali actually. This word, painting and mathematics, here is a Bengali like language punning is there. Ak, aka, onkon and onko. Ak is the same thing, very sound similar. One is painting, another is mathematics. One is that artist's job, another is the calculator's job. So he said that I could do aka, I could paint, but I could not do arc, I could not calculate. So that is how he is telling very nicely. And then he said,
God doesn't like math?
Huh?
God doesn't like math?
God likes math, that he doesn't want us to do it over him. He wants to. So the only calculator is good. If everybody is calculating, I don't think it's that very. But anyway, and then he said that that in those days, in 14th century, Bengal, there was Shubhankar Das, one man, mathematician, poet mathematician. He would, the simple arithmetic, he would make in poetic form. And then, like a riddle, he would give it to the students. So that one, that Shubhankar Das, from that, the Shubhankari math, it came like that. So he said that Shubhankari riddle, I never could do that, because he was so, but I could paint well. And then, after that, he said that, I couldn't learn calculating. That is what he said. Calculation, no calculation will. That's true also. No calculation works with Sri Ramakrishna. We think in one way, but he always happens in other way, and the most beautiful way. We think like that, oh, if I do this in this way, after that, after this, and then it will be perfect. But he just paints it all and then does the new drawing. And then he said, that's an artist. He's the artist. So we see the next word in that way. Then he said, Sri Ramakrishna returned to his room with the devotees. Looking at the picture of Yashoda on the wall, he said, it is not well done. She looks like a garland seller. Actually, he's an artist, right? Because, so that is why Meleni Mashi, Malini. From Malini, the word Meleni, Mala. You know the word Mala? Mala is the garland. And Malini, the one who makes garland is Malakar, and the wife of that garland maker or the woman garland maker who sells the garland is Malini. And from there he is calling it Melanie. So he said that she's a garland seller woman. So who does seller? Why seller? It's a calculating. So it's very nice. When you read gospel, every word has some meaning. Without that, he's not saying like that. The master had a nap, enjoyed a nap after noon meal, and author and other devotees gradually gathered. This was Adhar's first visit. So Adhar is a very important person of that time. All important personalities came time to visit Sri Ramakrishna. He was the deputy magistrate and about 30 years old. So Adhar asks to the master, "Sir, I have a question to ask. Is it good to sacrifice animals before the deity? It certainly involves killing." So really, because educated people, and especially we have to remember that time was that Brahmo influence was very much. And Christianity was also there. Young Bengalis coming out, and Christianity doesn't like that one. A lot of young Bengali people, boys, are getting converted. And with this killing, animal sacrifice and all this kind of thing, they were not liking it. And Brahmo people also, that worship of image, killing, animal sacrifice, and all this kind of thing, they would see as a superstition. So he is a deputy magistrate, English educated person, naturally had that question, that is it all right to do that? See, this is a very nice thing in Sri Ramakrishna. He never ever says any negative thing. Like whatever negative, he always tries to see the positive side of it or the factual side of it, whatever. So, being in this tradition at least, what mother said, do not find fault with others. Her teaching, that is that this like the core teaching of this tradition, we can't, but we should at least try this thing. That when the bad thing we see, we should try to see that what is the good side of it. Something is good. Nothing can be absolutely bad. Nothing cannot be absolutely good either. But we don't have to focus on that because we want to see the good thing like that way. So once this happened, I heard this story that I think this is Shankarananda Swami's story, that somebody came, one brahmachari, and complained about the other one. And said, he does this, he does that, blah, 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 all negative. And then he heard and then listened. After some time, when he stopped, then he said that, okay, now I know he has so many negative things. Now tell me, one good thing about him. So then he said that. Or he thought a little bit, okay, this is the good thing in him. He said that now hold on to that and move forward with him. So at least one good quality is there. So you don't have all this negative, forget about this. Go with the good one. So this is Sri Ramakrishna. People, when they criticize that society that time, animal sacrifice, image worship, animal sacrifice, what are these going? Sri Ramakrishna said that no. The Shastra prescribes, the scriptures prescribe sacrifice on special occasions. Such sacrifice is not harmful. Take, for instance, the sacrifice of a goat on the 8th day to the full moon or new moon, like that, the Mother's Day. And that animal sacrifice has its symbol, right? It is very significant that it is that you want to sacrifice your animal nature. Later, people focus more on having meat. That is a different story. But it's ideally the thing was that we all have our animal nature, and then we want to sacrifice it before Divine Mother. So I don't want to fall for it. So symbolically we cut it. So that is why she said that goat, sacrifice goat on the 8th day of the full moon. I am now in such a state of mind that I cannot watch sacrifice. He himself is sensitive, but he is not criticizing it. Also, I cannot eat meat offered to the Divine Mother. Therefore, I first touch finger to it and then to my head, lest she should be angry with me. So the Divine Mother is so lively to him because it is offered to Divine Mother. So it is a prasad. There is also faith in that Hinduism that one shouldn't say no to prasad. No matter whatever prasad is offered, you can say that no, I don't want to have. You can take a little bit, but you should accept it. And what prasad, and Gita also said, prasad dispels all suffering. Sarva dukkha is removed by prasad. So whenever you accept prasad, but it is also important to see it as prasad, not as the food. When we eat, we don't remember we are having prasad. We look at the food. It should be a little bit more spicy. Why they put so much gravy, not mutton enough? Like that. It shouldn't be like that. So no criticism. It's a prasad, came from God. And that word prasad has very deep, deep significance. Prasanna. Prasannata means pleasing, happiness, like that. So that prasannata of the Lord is coming through that food. That is why it is prasad, prasanna to prasad. So that is why he is telling that the mother's joy is flowing through this food. I can't say no to it, but I can take meat also. So what he does, he touches his hand and he touches in head and then he offers pranam to mother and that's all. So he says like that. So otherwise she will be angry with me. Again, in a certain state of mind, I see God in all beings, even in an ant. At that time, if I see a living being die, I find consolation in the thought that it is the death of the body, the soul being beyond the life and death. It's so good, no? That this seeing an ant also, there is that I see that God is there. You remember that story of mother, that she was looking at the ant and the Thakur bhog was offered. And ant was going and Radhu was going to kill. And mother said that, hey, don't kill the ant. Because she was looking at the hand, like the legs of the ant, and she said that I could see Thakur's hand in the legs of the ant. Such a subtle vision and such a subtle mind. So she could perceive, like in that way, that ant, the way Thakur is saying, I can see God in that ant. Mother is saying that I am seeing Thakur in that ant. Thakur is going to it. I can't. Such a good, high level of spirituality. And then he said that, and then when you see God in every being, he said that when somebody is dead, he said that the only body is dead. The soul there forever is there. And it is true only not for Jivatma. It is true for Paramatma also. Why it happens? How we see? In Gita, Sri Krishna is telling, Sambhavami juge juge. Again and again I come, I incarnate. So he said, Thakur is telling, Jai Ram, Jai Krishna, the one who is Rama, the one who is Krishna, the one is Sri Ram. The soul is that, God is the same God. The body is only different. Rama's body died in Sarju river. He left his body in that river, Rama. Krishna, how he died? That hunter hunter threw the arrow, and because Krishna was resting in a tree and his body was blue, and the hunter thought that, what is that blue bird? Let me kill it. And then he threw the arrow with poison. And then his feet was hurt and the poison went there, and then that's how he left the body. So Krishna left the body, Rama left the body. Again, Sri Ramakrishna came. Sri Ramakrishna left the body. But in the subtle way, he's there forever. And that is why Mother said, when I offer food to Thakur, then that time I see he comes, he eats. And he said like that. Then his niece, one time she was going someplace, and Thakur had to offer, bhog has to be offered. So his niece asked her that, I don't know how to mantras and all these things. How can I do the bhog offering? Then Mother said that, don't worry. Take the food, put in front of Thakur and say, Uncle, I have given food to you. Please come and have it. And then he will come. So when I read this first time, okay, Sri Ramakrishna uncle, so that's okay. So somebody's, this is the relationship, it's very own, very close, like that. Whatever you want to call, you can call, and then please come and have the food. And that's how. So he said that I can see that the soul is beyond life and death. One should not reason too much, actually. This is the love, motherly love, he started to talk. Motherly, this chapter is, that is why I selected, is so much of Sri Ramakrishna, bhakti, the motherly love, manifestation of motherly love. One should not reason too much. It is enough if one loves the lotus feet of the mother. Too much reasoning throws the mind into confusion. You get clear water if you drink from the surface of the pool. Put your hand deeper and stir the water, and it becomes muddy. Therefore, pray to God for devotion. It's very important. We don't need so much of this, why sacrifice, why this, like that. No. So he's saying that because author asked that question, right, that is animal sacrifice, because he came on the new moon day. Most likely in Dakshinesha, he saw the new moon day animal sacrifice going on. So his scientific mind is the question, is it right or wrong? That is why he's telling, don't go for all this kind of thing. Love mother. That's it. There is the beginning, there is the end. And then, and Mother Kali, I sometimes I think also about that lotus feet of mother. What is the lotus feet of mother? Shiva. So you can think about Shiva, the all purity. It's for Mother Kali's case. If you think about the lotus feet of Mother Durga, then what is there in Mother Durga's lotus feet? Mahishasura, that tamasic Shakti she is controlling, and other side is the lion, the Rajasic. So control both of this, and mother. Like that, if you think of Jagadhatri, who is there? Jagadhatri. Jagadhatri is that sitting on a lion, and that elephant, demon elephant. So in some place in Gospel, Sri Ramakrishna explained, the mind is the mad elephant. It's very powerful, but crazy. Going this direction, that direction, doing this, want this, do not want that. Oh my God. Continuously going this way. So the control of mind, that's a mother's lotus feet. So whatever the way you see, Jagadhatri, Kali, Durga, and Sharada, you have that. That what is the Saraswati? Who does she have? Hamsa, which takes the essence of milk only, not the water. Take the milk, if the milk and water are mixed in the scripture, only take the essence, get rid of the water. So that's her lotus feet. Whatever lotus feet you want to look at mother's lotus feet, automatically you will get what is needed to get. Control of, may it be control of mind, may it be the scriptural knowledge, may it be that control of qualities, everything is there. And purity, the Shiva state, whatever. So he said that keep the mother's lotus feet. And too much tiring, it makes it muddy, you don't want it. Behind Dhruva's devotion, there was desire. He practiced austerities to gain his father's kingdom. But Prahlada's love for God was motiveless, a love that sought no return. Love for love's sake. It's much easy. Because Dhruva story you know, right, that these two characters both had the Vishnu Bhakti. Dhruva had a stepmother, and his stepmother and her son was more favorite to father than himself. So his mother told him that, why don't you pray to Lord Vishnu? So then he prayed, and he prayed so earnestly that he forgot at some point that why he started praying. And when he was praying, he was closing his eyes and only thinking of God the Supreme. Vishnu came. He didn't see that God is standing in front of him. And then what he did, then Vishnu with his conch just put on his cheek. And then he looked at Vishnu. And then from that conch, he came to the consciousness, outer consciousness, and saw, and then he prayed that I don't want anything else, I want you now. But because he started with some desire, so Lord blessed him with kingdom and all this. He said that now you go back, you will get back your father's love, you will get your father's kingdom and all this. But he will have Vishnu Bhakti also. So once you have that, start with this desire, even if you get Vishnu, then you have to come back. And that's the eternal truth. That the pole star is called Dhruvotara. Dhruva is named after Dhruva. It's remember the story like that. That Prahlada's love was love for love's sake. And no problem. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna said that do not do too much of analysis and I want this for that reason, for this reason. No, no need. Just love. I love mother. That's all. And then he said, the devotee said that how can one realize God? Then the master said again, through that kind of love, but one must force one's demand on God. One should be able to say, O God, wilt thou not reveal thyself to me? I will cut my throat with a knife. This is the tamas of bhakti. At the beginning, actually, what he is trying to say is force yourself, force your mind. That is how Buddha also, right? How he got that Buddha state. He said that I am sitting in this asana, this body goes away, bones fall apart, I don't care. I will realize God and then leave this asana. That's how Buddha attained that one. I am not going to give up. This is my goal, I have to attain, period. Nothing can stop me. So then that is what he said, that this is the, but bhakti's tamas is that. I want to have the vision of God. So that is, then devotee is asking, can one see God? Then master said that yes, surely one can see both aspects of God, God with form and without form. One can see God with form, the embodiment of spirit. Again, God can be directly perceived in a man with a tangible form. Seeing an incarnation of God is the same as seeing God himself. God is born on earth as man in every age. Here is that God image. By looking at that him, you see God himself. And Sri Ramakrishna said that when you start your meditation, think of this image, Sri Ramakrishna image, and then quickly you can go in meditation. Because in Sri Ramakrishna there is nothing by God but God and God alone. So all the thoughts, all the philosophies, all the discrimination, all types of love, all types of control, whatever state of mind, everything dissolves in one form. That's Sri Ramakrishna. And that is what he said, that God is born on earth as man in every age. So this is the new moon day I started. In 2 days, Sri Ramakrishna lunar birthday will be there. It's so many layers and very nice. Okay. So our time is up now. So was there any, let me see, if any question online.
Mataji Thakur, when he was in his body, was so fussy with food, but now that he's in Sukshma Sharira, will he eat anything?
In the Shukshma Sharira, he looks at that, right?
So he can eat anything?
He can eat anything. But that I cannot say. That's what I asked the senior nuns also, that when we offer food, we don't know. Mother knew that which one can be offered to Thakur, which one cannot be offered to Thakur. But we cannot know. We don't know which one is right, which one is not to offer, and like that. So they told me, we are not pushing Thakur. So you just offer. It is his choice. If he wants, he takes. If he doesn't want, he won't take. So I'm not. So I just say that Thakur, whatever you want, please take. So he takes. So I don't know. I can't see. I'm not in that level like mother that which one is Thakur is touching and which one is not touching. But he takes. And we out of love. So I have that faith that he is looking at every item at least, even if he's like that. Let me see that if there is. Do you see any question today?
No question.
No question? No. Okay. So then good.
Bhairavi, she made very spicy food for Holy Mother, and Holy Mother would eat it even though she would cry. So
Yeah.
I know Holy Mother would eat it. So should I just stop offering food to Thakur and just offer to Holy Mother? Because she will definitely eat my food.
Isn't Thakur and Ma the same, right? Yeah.
So I might as well offer to her.
Yeah. So she will. Yeah. She will definitely.
I have a question, Mataji. In the beginning of this lesson, you were speaking about the mind, and you said that our ability to look back on past desires in a positive way is proof of our inner divinity. But I feel like we've all met someone who has really kind of a depressive personality, or someone who sees things in a negative way, even when it's not negative, but they have a negative slant.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that that's an illusion over the mind? How do you square those two things? Because I agree that the mind is pure at its whole, but how do we explain that so many times the mind?
So you say like that, we are pure, our mind is, we are divine in nature, but somebody said something negative, and then how you can take it, and how can you accept it, or what? How can you forget it? What do you want?
My question is, I think we've all met some people who seem to have a more negative perspective than others.
Yeah, it is their sanskara and it is coming in that way, right? They have the negative perspective. We can't do anything about it. But all we can do, we can pray for them that so that they can have their positive attitude back again. And secondly, like that, how spiritual life is subjective, it's not objective, right? So other person I cannot think about, but the other person, when they are having the negative attitude towards me, I would say like that, first what the tiger god to avoid or something like that, and also to when we behave, if we have to, sometimes we really cannot avoid, we have to go to daily transaction to try to see what I said, the story, so some positive side, and then forget, forgive. Even if you remember, forgive. That's the only thing. That, okay, because mother said again and again, everybody can criticize, but who can tell how it can be good? as long as I cannot help that person to become good, I don't have right to criticize. So whatever the way God is taking them, I have to just to save myself by not to get entangled with that negativity. Also, not to get entangled with criticism and all these things. So just to keep it minimum. Let it balance. It's very specific question, a situation-specific thing like that. So you have to deal with on that situation there, like that. Okay. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.